Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thursday, the 27th of June. I was almost going to say July then too. Oh my goodness, I'm messing up already. My name is Alisa Tilsner. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. I wish it was January because then I would be nice and warm and not freezing like I am, and my fingers wouldn't be bright red from the cold. Welcome, welcome. We go live every Thursday morning for a little bit of card making, and I have done some scrapbooking as well. So go me. So for today, I was thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then I thought, why don't we take the layout that I did from my scrapbook page and turn it into a card? And I had all the bits and pieces left over. I'd actually colored in an image, so I had that spare, and I thought, yep, you beauty. But I was actually thinking a couple of days ago, maybe I could do a masculine version of this card as well. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Margaret. And yes, definitely chilly South Australia. I totally agree. My fingers, look at the color of them, especially this hand. My right hand is always a lot redder than my left hand for some reason. Good evening, Wendy. And I was thinking, well, I could do a masculine version as well. And then I was like, oh, no. And then I went back to my original plan of doing a feminine card with the leftovers. And then this morning I just checked my Facebook page, and Anne had suggested that we do a masculine card. And then I thought, oh, why don't we just make two cards this morning? So I'm going to do the same layout. It's the same layout as the scrapbook page that I did, and we're going to do a feminine with my leftover pieces, and then we're going to do a masculine that I have got prepped as well. So we'll be doing two cards today. Good morning, good morning. Let us turn the camera and where am I? And I'll show you the scrapbook page that I did. So this is the page that I did. So I am very, very new to scrapbooking. It's not my thing. The size scares me, and obviously it takes a little bit longer to do. But I have to say I did cheat, and obviously the word title, it's not stuck down. I just didn't know what I was going to do with this page just yet. And because I have boys and I've used pink, I'm gonna have to sift through a fair bit of my photos to find something. Maybe I should just take some selfies and pop them on there or something. But I am going to say I did, or is it cheating if you use a scrapbook map? I went and I got the page maps for June, and I thought maybe once a month I can challenge myself to do a page. So I actually picked this one here, and then I've just enlarged it so I could actually see what it was, because that is way too small. So this is the page that I actually copied from. So it is not my layout, I have to admit, but until I get comfortable with scrapbooking, I will be doing layouts so that it doesn't take me months to do one page instead of an afternoon to do one page. So I don't know. Is that cheating? Is that called cheating? I don't know. But so that's what I'm going to do anyway. So we're going to use this layout, and we're going to transfer it to cards, which is something I actually do quite a lot. I will either take a component of a scrapbook page and put it into a card. But this time I'm going to take the whole layout and see how we go. So I will pop that down, and I will show you actually the products that I used from this card for this scrapbook page. See, I know this paper is gorgeous, isn't it? So this is from the Country Woods, and I did use both of them. And I did use both of the stamps as well. And we're going to do, like I've said, I've already got one coloured image already, but I will show you how I've coloured it because I need a second flower, just a little one. So this is the Country Woods, and it's a mega suite. So the Country Woods suite is made up of Country Birdhouse and Country Flowers. So I've used both of these in the past for cards a couple of months back. And it's also been... I think I have this one up as a class, and I've still got to put this one up. We did them for Creative Card Makers Club, and there's also 2 packs of paper. So one is the wood grain, and the other one is really pretty. It's got like eyelets in there. So they are called Country Woods and Country Lace. So I've used a mixture of the two for the page, and I think that's it. Now, one thing I didn't do, there's also embellishments, and these are gorgeous. They're silver, they're like a smoky slate and a grey pearl, which are really pretty. We'll use them on our cards, but I've got a question for all you scrapbookers out there. And there's an embossing folder which matches one of the papers down here, and then there's some ribbons. Okay, so it's not oh good, it's not cheating. Good, because I need it. Being brand new, I need it. Otherwise, I would sit there looking at a big blank 12 by 12 page going, what? So I need a little bit of help. But my question is, embellishments. I haven't put any embellishments on this, and I don't know whether to or not. So the pearls, they are a little bit raised, and because I sort of think, well, if you're going to have them in an album, I know that they're behind a protector page, a sleeve, or whatever you call them, and but doesn't one imprint into another, like when you've got the book closed, when you've got your scrapbook closed? So that's my question. Embellishments, yay or nay? So hit me with it. All right, let's put this away. I'm going to put it down on the floor so I can still see what I am doing. And I've got a base of basic white. So let's get all our elements happening. Oh, I have to tell you, this glass mat is freezing. I was doing some colouring in the other day, and my little finger, no wonder it's bright red and swollen around the edges, my little finger sits on the glass mat all the time and it is freezing. So I actually brought my hot water bottle in and I put it on my glass mat to warm it up. So anyway, so I'm going to be using the same layout, same colours in the same positions. So I'm going to start with, obviously we're doing a rectangle, not a square though. You could do a square if you wanted to. Flat embellishments could work. Yes. Wendy uses embellishments. So I guess it depends on how high they sit up in, in the area. And I guess it depends on what's on the other side as well. And the other thing I'd like to know how to do, so if that was just a single layout, but how would you go and, like, if there was no map for a double page, what would you do to, reflect that and keep it together? Judith says, if you use raised, then when you close your book, stand it up. Ah, okay, not lie them all down. Righty. Oh, okay. So I am, what have I got here? All right. I'm just doing my measurements here. Now, before I forget, let me bring in this. So I don't give measurements while we are see, now I'm getting scrapbooking on my mind. While we are card making today, I don't give measurements, mainly because I don't know what they are. Sometimes they change. But if you want the measurements for this card, I will be doing a tutorial that will go out in Tuesday's newsletter. Oh my gosh, I'm stumbling over words and not thinking correctly today. So you can head on over to alisatilsner.com when we are done and hit the subscribe button, and tutorials go out every Tuesday. All right, so I'm going to have this, which is what I had, and then I had a layer of this down, this paper, which is super pretty as well. That's just like little dots on there. And I'm just ad-libbing at the moment. So, and that was going to go there. It might be a little bit smaller still. And then I've got my piece of wood grain, which is the pool party, which I love. So I may have to trim these a little bit yet. Oh, just. So that's going to go somewhere like that. And then I had some little scraps, and this one was cut off already. That's the one that's got the wood grain with all the different colours, and I love stripes. And then that will go up the top there somewhere. And then I was looking on my scrap pile, and I've got the bit left over from the top of my scrapbook page. And I'm like, yes, you beauty. So, oh, did I tear that? Have I torn it? That's okay. I might be able to hide that. That'll hide behind. Lucky. I don't know whether it's torn paper or whether it's part of the design, because I used the basic borders die, which is retired. I actually think it's torn, and I stuck my die down with painter's tape, so I could have actually torn that, but never mind. Thanks very much. Okay, so let me get rid of that. I should remember, I should actually get someone in each week to pop in my website address for me each time. So, and then I've got that. But I think with this card, I'm actually going to pop a little bit, because where I had my photos, I'm actually going to pop a little square of white down. So what's that? I'll just pop a little square, and then that way I can stick my flower on it. So in lieu of a photo, we're just going to pop that there, and then we'll have that, and then we'll have my sentiment. Oh wait, I have forgotten, I need to have a couple of little banners too. So this is also retired, apologies, but it's just a little banner punch. And I can pop them just under there, I think is where I had them. Nope, I had them under here. Right. And maybe I'll just do one because it's quite big. Right. Okay. I think I've got all my bits and pieces. So I just want one more, because it's not filling up an area as much as I would like. Actually, that white may have to become a little bit bigger as well. So it all depends. Let me cut my angles, and then it will give me, whoops, an even better look, and then we can go and add a few more flowers. Okay, so I am going to measure up a little bit. I think so I'm just going to use my pencil and cut that on an angle. Rub off that little bit there. So now we can go back. May have to have that little white panel a little bit on the bigger side. But that's okay, because I've got plenty of white. And oh, actually, and I did a little bit of stamping. Well, where have I lost? I've lost. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Always losing things. And then this one, we need to come up the other side and cut on the opposite angle. So, and this one's going to be a little bit more shallow. So I need to make that line. Otherwise, I make pencil lines, and then when I pick them up and go to cut it, it's like, wait, where's my pencil line? So I need to make them fairly strong. All right, and then we're going to cut this one. So, and then that'll go on that side. So I may have to trim a little bit off the top. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. Okay, so let's grab, I'm going to add this one here, which is what I added to behind the other ones as well. And I've got one, but it's not in the right color. So for this one here, because we can use our blends on any color, I've chosen to stamp in Misty Moonlight. So I stamped in Misty Moonlight rather than in black, just so I could keep, you know, that color thing going. Okay, and this one won't take me very long to color at all. Ooh, that ink pad is quite a strong smelling ink pad, just in case you wanted to know. All right, so blends. This will be a nice quick colouring. And I tried colouring this one just with plain pink. And I don't know, but I really like the way that the sort of bleaching look comes. So I'm going to grab my dark Misty Moonlight and my 2 petal pinks. And then also I've got a new pack of Pool Party. So we're going to start, and if you are on, if you happen to be on a mobile device on YouTube, you can actually zoom in on this, but I will come up to the screen and show you what I've done. So I am using, I've changed the nib on this one. I think this one has a Copic, it has a Copic Classic brush. So I've switched the, I've switched the nib out to one of these on this one, this particular one. but I've normally been using the Ohuhu nibs to switch them out when these become a little bit on the daggy side. So I'm just going to do some little flicks from the base of the petals and in the middle there. So by changing out my nibs, I can actually come right up on the tip of that nib, and it doesn't get damaged like if I did with a Stampin' Up one. Sorry, Stampin' Up. Okay, so I'll just bring that up so you can see what I've done. So that's just my little bit of night of what is it, Misty Moonlight, and then I'm going to come in. I'm going to use the bullet tip for these ones because I'm going to be fairly rough. So I'm just going to scribble over the top, and what is going to happen is that because this is a light color and I'm going onto a dark color, it's actually sort of going to like bleach out the blue, and it gives it a bit of a mottled look, and you'll see that because there's probably a lot more solvent in the lighter colors to keep them light. The solvent eats into the darker colors. Okay, and then with my light, just to go over the top, and I go over everything as well because this one's got even more solvent than that one because this one's lighter, and it'll eat out a little bit more and give quite a nice mottled look. And I quite like that look. I know it's not a great blend. It's a really bad blend, really, but I like the look that it gives when it's in a hole like that. So I know the lighting's probably not the best here either. Okay, so let's move on to our pool party. Oh, and then I can stop working on this freezing glass mat. All right, so just putting a little bit of dark down on the leaves, and this one's really easy. So then we just fill it in. 2-second colouring, and then what I like to do with smaller areas like this is just actually come in again with my dark and just go over that dark area just to make that a little bit darker as well. Good morning, everyone, and good evening to everyone coming in. So there we have it. Pretty easy. Now, no, I have to cut out first. Okay, don't put these away. Oh, I'll put that away. Don't put that away. I'll put these ones away. Right, so I need to die cut these guys. And I only need the little one. Oops. What am I doing? Country Birdhouse is the one that I need for this. And I do love that birdhouse as well. Okay, so I need to cut this one out. And then I will just grab a couple of other little leaves as well, and I'll decorate them up. Okay, down. Oh, I think I've got too much. Oh, there we go. Now we're going. Okay, and then I'm going to, so this one will get tucked around here somewhere. So this is going to extend and make that a little bit fuller as well. I'm not sure 100% where just yet, but somewhere. So that'll make my bouquet a little bit fuller. And then I'm going to grab, I don't know, I've got enough room on that piece. Oh, I've got scraps everywhere. Get my scraps together. On the floor. Okay, so then I'm going to use this little double leaf down here and just cut a couple of them. On the floor because my desk gets too plugged up with everything, so everything else gets Discard it on the floor. Okay, now, so what I want to do with this guy, and I think I'm done with that. Oh, and don't forget, I've got to leave room for my sentiment too. So that is also going to fill up space. So I think I'm going to be okay. All right, so I've got these two guys here. And then what I did with these is just grabbed my Misty Moonlight again. And then just from the base of that petal, I've just flicked out just quite feathery. I'll bring it up to the screen to show you. So it's not like a color like, so can you see? So it's quite a feathery looking color to it. And then I just grabbed my dark Pool Party and just went over the top, and I'm using the bullet tip for this one. And this one will basically melt into the color of the cardstock. So it just sort of tones it a little bit. All right. And I put my Misty Moonlight ink pad away, didn't I? Am I going to need that? Because we need to get a sentiment now and chuck you guys in there somewhere. Somewhere. All right, and you'll go up there somewhere. So we're getting all our bits and pieces here together, and then we need our sentiment. And I think I'll just do a happy birthday, just a nice thin one. I really do like the hoping you have the best day ever, but I think we'll just do a simple happy birthday for this. Now, will you fit on there? Yes, you will. All right, Misty Moonlight, you come back. Alrighty. Happy birthday. And I think that we will definitely cut this one on an angle because I've got the angles going on the paper. I think having these on angles will enhance that quite nicely. Now I might leave that one out. I might use that on our masculine card too. So I'm going to put you aside. So let's get this cut, and then we'll see if I do a little bit of background stamping on that petal pink background layer. Oh, I nearly cut my fingernail off then. That was close. Nearly got there. Yep, keep fingers out of the way when you're cutting. That's a bit silly. Okay, so we'll just trim these off in a little bit. Just turn that around, line it up with a straight edge and cut that, and then our angles are the same. And then I've got my happy birthday going somewhere along there. Okay, I'm going to need to trim this down, and I'm going to need to try and find a spot that hasn't been. I want a little bit of that pink in there though, although I suppose I don't really need to. So if I go, because it did overhang a little bit, so if I cut from there. And yes, I'm using my trimmer and not my scissors because I can't cut straight. Cannot cut straight, doesn't matter. I just can't do it. All right, I'll take it to there, I think. I probably can't, unless I line that up with the edge of there, I probably can't cut that straight either. All right, I've got all my little bits and pieces now. Anyway, that's not quite how I envisioned that one, but anyway, it's all good. All right, let's get sticking down, shall we? Oh, no, wait, I was going to stamp that, wasn't I? Oh, snort. All right, here we go. I'm getting there. And then we're going to make another card. Who's going to stick around for a second one? I have prepped a lot of the second card. Don't worry about that. I've just got to do my colouring of my little masculine image, which shouldn't take me too long. All right, so we're just going to do a little bit of stamping on there. As if we don't have enough texture going on with all the paper, we're adding more texture. I don't think I got any on my mat. All right. Okay, now let's get sticking. All right, look at all these bits and pieces. So many items. Okay, what am I looking for? Now, I think I've cut something wrong, or because it's a little bit crooked, but I can trim it up. So if you find that you're in the position that I am in, and I'll just get this stuck down if I can actually see what I'm doing. See, I've got a little bit of a white edge on this side because I've cut a little bit. I've either cut something crooked or I've scored and folded a little bit crooked, and I've got a tiny little bit of an overhang on here as well. So we'll trim that little bit of an overhang off. And then when I close my card, I mean, it'll annoy me. So what I'm going to do is just line this in just a tiny smidge and bring that down. There we go. No white line now. Okay, next. I have to remember where everything goes. One goes in the middle. Like so. Now this little piece here, I might stick that because it went behind. Maybe I'll stick that on here first if I can, using this nasty glue, which has actually been behaving. I think it's because it's cold. It's been behaving a little bit better than what it normally does. So we'll pop that along the top there. And then we can pop this down. Now this is going to hang down too long, so I'm actually going to trim the top of this, and then I will also need to trim the top of that. I'm just going to go a little bit at a time. Yep, that's it. Because if you take too much, you've taken too much. And then same amount with this one here, just so that these two will line up nicely. Hello, Chris from New Zealand. All right, don't know that I need you. Okay, we are, if you're just tuning in, we are taking the layout from the scrapbook. I scrapbooked from the scrapbook page that I did yesterday, day before, and we're turning it into a feminine card, and then I'm going to whip another card up and turn it into a masculine card. So, and we put this one comes down a little bit. I quite like these two different angled little pieces. I think that's quite cool. So that's what we've got going on so far. And then we're going to pop. Now, I don't know how far I need to pop that in yet. So what I'm going to do is put my white down, but I'm going to put my adhesive not right on the edge, so that way I can lift this up and pop it underneath in the position that I need it. I'm not sure, 100% sure where it needs to be just yet. Pop that in the middle, a little bit towards the top. So we've got a little bit higher, a little bit more down this end than what we do on this end. Okay, and then we can pop our, I love it when it comes time for sticking because it just happens so quickly. So again, 2-dimensionals right in the middle because I'm going to slide my other little bits and pieces in underneath. And I don't know whether this has a right way or a wrong way, but we'll pop it up in this direction. And then, because I don't know whether I want to put this down, I think I will. That one can go there. So this one will just get stuck down when my glue wants to work. And we'll just pop that under there. And then that way I can come in with my little banner I'm only going to do one. There was 2 in my original, but we're just going to do 1. Just pop you there. It's just for a little bit of balance, just to bring in some more of that Misty Moonlight. And then I've got 2 of these little guys. So I'll come back to this nasty glue. Okay, and we can pop one down here. And then this one. So I think either up here, whoops, if I'm not careful, I will end up breaking it. So either up there or down, yeah, maybe down there. I like it down there. See, and that pool party blend over the top has sort of settled down and into the paper. So we'll pop you there. And then we've got our happy birthday, and I will pop that just across here. And there's the postie. You guys are gonna have to excuse me. It always happens, always happens. Hang on 2 seconds. He drives up to my back door, which is amazing. So hang on 2 seconds. Coming. Man, it's not even for me. Sorry. Wendy says this card uses the colours I would use the least. Wow. However, it's beautiful. Thank you. And yes, case away. So, I mean, that parcel wasn't even for me. My son is having a little bit of a splurge. I think he's got 1 more semester of uni left. And he's like, oh, I think I might like to get a watch for my uni gift. He's bought himself a graduation present, and because it's end of financial year sales on at the moment, he's gone and bought it already. Like, I'm like, you haven't even graduated yet. What are you doing? But he got it. He tried it on. He's looked at it, and he's put it away. There we go. These are the pearls that match this one, which are really nice. So we'll just pop a few of these guys around, and I think we'll do I actually like the dark ones. Let's do the dark ones. They sort of have like that tone with the blue. So we'll pop them around as well. Whoops. No, I stuck him in the wrong spot. And I pressed down. He jumped when I... Oops, and now I've lost his... now I've lost his backing. There we go. All right, stay. So there's our card. So I love... Because I find that, well, not always, but perhaps it's the layouts that I look at for scrapbooking. They seem to be... like have unusual layers, so when you transfer that to a card, you get a really interesting looking card as well. So let me bring in, for those who didn't see at the beginning, there's my page. This is not stuck down because that is obviously not what I'm going to do. I just needed it for balance. And then there's the card that goes along with it. So quite like that, very much. Okay, so now we've got one more card to make. I know, sorry, but this time I'm going to turn it into a masculine card, but don't worry because I've got all the pieces cut already. So it's just going to be a little bit of colouring, and I'm using the Adventurous Sky Take to the Sky suite for this one, which is very, very nice as well. Thanks, guys. Ladies, I should say. So we're going to use this one. So I'm going to stamp the big plain and colour it. And then I've got all the bits and pieces. So I'll show you what I've got laid out already. So I've been using a lot of blue tones with this one, but I thought let's try a green tone with it. So I've got it pretty much all laid out. There's some little banners that are in the die, and we'll show you that when we, this is there to stamp the sentiment on and have it like a flag flying behind the planes. But I like to use them because they've got that cute little banner end, and you can use either end for your decoration. So let's put that aside. So that's basically all ready to go. Let's stamp and colour, and it will be very quick colouring too, by the way, because I know that we've already done one card. But I thought let's do another. So let's use that same layout. Oh, good. Hopefully it inspires you. And you can see that even though I've used it on a feminine card, we can still use that same layout, and it can be quite a masculine looking card as well. All right, I think I've got that inked up okay. So I'm inking up in Mossy Meadow because I thought, well, I've done this card a few times with a blue base, but I thought let's do it with a green base because I'm using greens in my card. All right, I'll clean you later. So for this one, I am going to use copper clay. I'm going to use some smoky slate. And because I've got smoky slate, copper clay, and Mossy Meadow for a little bit of tonal work. Okay, so this is going to perhaps look a little bit weird to you. So if you're on YouTube, again, you can zoom in. So we're going to start with our copper clay, and this is the dark one. And I've actually coloured this one in on a separate video that I did do with Night of Navy. But let's colour this in, and I did do them all separately in the other video, but I'm going to do these all at the same time, I think, today. And where's one I've coloured before, just for a little bit of inspo. Alrighty, and then up the thing there. All right, so that's with the dark. Then I'll bring in the light. Okay, and add a little bit to this. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the smoky slate, and like the previous card that we did, I'm only going to use the light, I'm not going to use the dark. As with the previous flowers that we did, the lighter colours eat into the darker colours. So you will get that little bit of bleaching out, which is really cool on these old planes because it sort of gives it a real rusty feel to it. And these ones, I have changed this one out for an Ohuhu nib as well. So it means I can be a little bit rougher with my nibs. Okay, and then a little bit on the body. And if you just bring that grey down into the copper clay, it'll do its thing and start munching into it. And I should bring that up to and show you. So it's sort of like, so it blends into each other. So it's sort of like one eats into the other and you get that really cool old looking plane. So in the previous video that I did, it's just colouring this, I did Night of Navy, but let's add a little bit of Mossy Meadow just to see how this one picks up with a little bit of green, because I'm using green in the card. Let's just do a little bit of darker green under his underbelly here. And where else did I do it? I did a little bit around here, and this is the dark Mossy Meadow as well. Okay, and I think that's all I did, just to give it a little bit of tone look. But I will come in with my green and I will just do the things where the ties go on. Wheels, and let's just do the hubcaps. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this up again in a second, but I'm just going to grab my copper clay again and just go over the top of my, this is the light, so I'm just going over that green just to tone that down a little bit. It's just sort of like, I just want a hint of the green, and then I'm going to come back in with my smoky slate and just go around the areas that the smoky slate was as well, just to eat into that a wee bit. So that is that. I'll bring that up and show you. So you can see just how it's got that little bit of a green tinge to it now, which should work nicely with my card. I've got a white gel pen here. Just what I like to do with the white gel pen first is just get it activating on a piece of scrap before I do it. And I'm just going to pop a couple of lines around there where the propellers are, just so that it looks like we've got a few, we can see the propeller lines around here, but we can't see them when they get lost over here. So that sort of just highlights them a bit again. Okay, let's die cut this, and when we can stick our second card together. So hopefully you're sticking around to see my second card, or if you're just joining me, you may not have seen my first. I'll bring them all back into the screen again later. Let's get them out of the way. And let's get these die cut. And this card will go pretty quick because we are, I just need the dies. And this one, I don't think that I'm going to put down a white square. I think I'm just going to put the plain down straight on top because it's a bigger piece. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Will be fine. I'm going to have all these masculine cards because we're doing our creative carnival this weekend, which is a demonstrator only event, and we are using Adventurous Skies as our theme. So I've got some cool masculine cards coming up for that, and then I'm also going to be using the Adventurous Skies for my next month's, so for July's Creative Card Makers Club as well. Okay, I have got all my bits and pieces. These ones, I don't need them to be so long, so we'll just cut them. You can keep them and use them because they quite look quite cool being pointed as well, so you don't throw them away. You can keep them. All right, let's get stuck together. Alrighty. Looking forward. Oh, can't you make it on the weekend? Oh, on Tuesday. Looking forward to. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm definitely. If you don't have the Country Birdhouse, definitely. Judy's going to be there for Creative Carnival too. But if you, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, you could use any floral. Just take the layout. I mean, you'll see what this one looks like. So you can use whatever paper you've got, whatever scrapbooking paper you've got, and whatever. I'm not going to stamp on this back piece either. I know I stamped on that other one, but I'm not going to stamp on this one. We're just going to put it straight down. You could ink blend around this panel here if you wanted to, but what's the time? We've been going for 45 minutes already, so and I am quite mindful of your time. Oh, wait a minute, I was supposed to put that on there, wasn't I? Oopsie. Maybe I can put that along the top there. It's like a crown, isn't it? Oh dear, where's my green glue? My nasty glue, nasty, nasty glue. All right. And I've made this piece a little bit longer than the piece on the that I did originally. So this one's going to go across the full length. I think it goes across the full length. So if you're wondering what these ones were, this one was from the Basic Borders dies, which is this one here, and it has now retired, but I had it on my to-go pile. And of course, when I was making my layout the other day, I'm thinking, wait, I don't have any edging stuff. So, oh, you won't be there. Okay, definitely come on the Friday. Whoops, I've frozen. And I was like, oh, no. Now, I do need to trim these off again as well. So just a reminder that if you are wanting the instructions for these cards, sign up to my newsletter, which is at alisatilsner.com, and I will have all the measurements and instructions and supplies list all in your email that goes out on the Tuesday. We also have the bundle sale is coming to an end very, very soon, and all the bundles that I've actually used here today are on the sale list. So the Country Birdhouse, the Country Flowers, Adventurous Skies, they are all on sale as well. So you can grab them. So they've got an extra 10% off the 10% already. A June code, if you are ordering, grab the code. These are always in my newsletters as well. If not, you can always just message me and I will give it to you. So there is a thank you gift when you meet the minimum order amount of $95. But for anyone who places an order, you also get a free tutorial. So that goes to everyone who places orders with me. And this month it is the Layers of Beauty, which is stunning. And also I have one last thing. I have got a mini cut and emboss, which I use all the time. So for every $20 worth of order that you place with me in my online store, your name will go into the hat. And on the 1st of August, so this is for June and July, I will put your name into a hat. I draw a winner, Australia only, and I have got it here already. It just needs a new sticker, a new home address on it, and that will come out to whoever wins. Okay, so I've got my layout done here, and then I'm just going to pop these under. I might have to use this glue. So I'm going to pop these, slide that under and through. Actually, yeah, no, I'll do this one. Slide them through. So there's one. I'll pop two on this one. So these are quite cute, these little banners to use as little accents. I'll put another one. Oops. I probably won't be able to get them lined up straight, so I won't even try. I will just let one hang out a little bit longer than the other. And then we can stick our, oh wait, I haven't done a sentiment yet either. We can stick our plain on. So I'm not going to put a white square on this one. I think it'll be fine just to put the plain on. And I'll do my comments so I can see. So we'll pop our biplane on. Okay, and then I've just got to do my sentiments. I'm going to use the same happy birthday as before. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow because that's what I have used to outline my plane. And I should get enough of that scrap. Let's trim this one, and again I will angle the ends on this one. Oops. Oh, I didn't leave enough on the end there. Just get it. And again, line that up so that is vertical. Now, the trinkets that go with this as an embellishment are super cool. So we're going to use some of those trinkets. They're fairly heavy, but I tell you what, whoops, what have I done? I love them. I've taken the top off of a different one. So I better grab him because he's topless now. So we'll pop these on. Have I found if you have the glass mat, you can, I'm not sure what the rest of your, I found if you have the glass mat, you can SY. I'm not sure. I think, whoops, upside down, Miss Jane. Don't stick that on upside down. There we go. Happy birthday. And the trinkets on these ones are so cool. Oh yeah, I do. So Judith is asking if I find that you don't need to stamp on, like if you've got the photopolymer, normally, you know, you can stamp on this to give you a really good image, but no, exactly right, Judith. She said that she's found that you don't actually need to have that. For some reason, it just gives a really nice smooth finish, but for your stamping. So have a look at these. So you can use these either way. So you can use them on that side or you can use them up that way. So I really like these, and they are quite substantial in weight. So they definitely give your card a little bit of a, oops, losing the top of my finger there. Okay, so but you will need to use glue dots to stick these down. And I will just pop them, and it's always like, oh man, which side am I going to use? Because I like them both, but I think I'll use, put them down on the flat side. So we'll stick one there, and then we'll do two up in the other corner. But didn't get him. I'm still not getting him. Sometimes it's easier to take the glue dot and stick it, which is what I'm not going to have to do because he's not coming off. Oh, no, I did. Sometimes it's easier to like take the glue dot with your, take a pick tool or something and put it on your card and then stick your embellishment to it. He doesn't want to come off. I think it's the way I'm holding it. It's too soft. There we go. And I'll stick you there. So there is our masculine version as well. Hey Lois, hey Margot. All right, so this is the second card that we have made today, which is why I am still going at this time. So there is our second one. So we've managed to get a masculine card out of that same layout as well. So let me bring it all back in as well so we can do a little bit of comparison. So it has all started with the scrapbook page, which is not my design, I have to say. I cheated, or I didn't cheat. I'm getting inspiration. I'm learning. So I've taken from the page maps. You can just go to pagemaps.com, Becky Moore. And she's been doing this for years and years and years. So every month she'll have a selection of layout. So these ones are 8 by 11. She's got 12 by 12 double, and then other ones are just singles. So, and then I took this one here, enlarged it so I could see it with my eyeballs, did my layout, and then we've turned it into a card, identical-ish, taken the same layout into a card, and then we've taken that layout and we've made masculine as well. So we've got a feminine and a masculine made from a scrapbook page. So there you go. How's that? Pretty cool. I think I like them. I like them both. I like my green tones. I've been, like I said, I've been using a lot of navy with it, but I quite like that green undertone that goes along with it. So that is that. Let me switch back to me. So I hope you have enjoyed. So don't forget, these bundles are on extra sale at the moment, only until the 30th of June though, so you've got a couple more days. If you need my host code, just let me know and I can provide it to you, or it's in the newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter if you're not already on it, and these cards will go out. I'll have photos of them. The measurements will be the same for both, so I'll just do instructions for one of them, but I will also give the photos for the alternate version so you can see them both. And I might put the scrapbook page up as well, not with measurements, because that one's next month in July. Lisa and I, with our thank you tutorials, we're actually doing country flowers, so I will have all the measurements for that scrapbook page in the thank you tutorial. So that's what that'll be. Okay, I think that's it. So I will yes, sorry Lois, so jump in, watch the replay. Thank goodness for replays, and thank goodness I don't have to edit replays, because that takes a long time. So thanks very much everyone, and we will see you again next Thursday. It'll be a new financial year for us all, so looking forward to those tax cuts that we've all been promised, right? And we'll see you next Thursday, and hopefully I'll get to do a little bit more scrapbooking as well. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you again later. Bye-bye.